welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Adaline and I'm a mom of a 1, 2, and 3-year-old. I post videos pretty much every single day, and I know I've recently had a lot of new subscribers, so I thought I would just kind of start off by like introducing myself. Also, this type of video is a little unusual for me. It's something that I've had so many questions about. It's something that has kind of been long awaited coming, but it's a little out of the ordinary, so I might be having some of you that are very new to my channel. So anyways, this is not going to be my weight loss story in particular. If you guys would be interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments. But I am going to give you some of my best tips and a little bit about my story, and just what I've learned over the last few years. So I have had 3 pregnancies, obviously very close together. I have a 1, 2, and 3-year-old, and were all very different. I was at very different weights at all of them. So basically what I'm gonna do is start where after I had my 3rd baby. So she is basically a 1.5 years old now, and I actually have some footage, or I may just grab a still shot of whenever I had first started doing YouTube. I think I was about 165 pounds, maybe 170 pounds whenever I started. I didn't really weigh myself very consistently then, just because I hated the scale, to be honest, and I just hated everything. I hated how I felt, I hated how I looked, I didn't feel comfortable in my clothes, all of those sorts of things. So that, I believe, was a 1.5 years ago, maybe a year ago, something like that. If I can kind of figure it out, I'll put like some wording in here. And so before I actually got to that point, so that would have been like through my pregnancies, actually before I even got pregnant, I did something called THM. So that's where I'm going to start off with my little tips and tricks for you guys. If you can find a plan that works for you, and I am going to be the first one to say I have tried lots of different things, and I think not entirely, because I know there's some plans of eating and lifestyle that is not very healthy, but I think for the most part, if you stick to one thing, you will lose weight, and if you do it religiously. And there's so many different diets, so many different things out there, so many different ideas and mindsets, and one thing that I really want to encourage you guys with is every single body type is different, and so you might have to try several different plans until you find one that works with your metabolism and all of that good stuff. Another thing I want to add is these are only a couple tips and tricks. Are like, you know, things I've gathered. I think I may actually do more videos like this. If you like that idea, give this video a thumbs up. And like I said, also just doing a longer video on my whole entire story. So before I had little ones, like I'm in my 20s, so in my teen years, I was pretty much at the same weight like my entire life. Like around 150 pounds was where I sat, and it's so crazy because I feel like 150 pounds in my teen years looked so different. After I had my 2nd baby, I lost a lot of weight and got back down to 150 pounds. And it just, my body looked so different than my teen years. And that was a little bit frustrating for me. I realized that to get to what I wanted to feel and like in my clothes and look like, I would have to drop a good amount more weight than that. So like I said, before I had little ones, I did a plan called Trim Healthy Mama, and basically I'm just gonna like shorten it down because there's a big fat book to go with it, and there's so much more than this. But basically you separate your carbs and your fats, and you eat them at different times, and you eat protein with both types of meals. And I was the type of person that would do one whole day on the fats, and then one whole day like eating carbs. Now when I say carbs, I'm talking like sweet potatoes, quinoa, beans, healthy carbs, not bread, very little, actually very little gluten, very minimal on all of that stuff. So I think before I got pregnant with my first one, I think maybe I was at 135 pounds, maybe something like that. And I mean, I felt very comfortable in that weight, with that body makeup, I guess, that young, you know, like not gone through pregnancy kind of thing. So what I did is, through my pregnancies, I ate a lot of whatever I wanted to. I gained a lot of weight. My middle one was my heaviest pregnancy, and I'm pretty sure I did not weigh myself through my pregnancies, or, you know, I actually had a midwife and either didn't want to see the scale or just like asked her if she didn't like would be okay with not weighing me. And, you know, I wasn't massively huge, but I am pretty much 100% sure that I went over 200 pounds, especially with my second one. So after I had my second one, it would have been like five months till I got pregnant again. And in that time, I mean, as soon as I hit my okay mark to start working out and start doing things, I did. And so I lost a lot of weight. I think I got down to right around 150 pounds before I got pregnant again. So after I had my third one, which is any pictures or clip that I put through this, or the thumbnail or anything like that, would have been after I had my third one. So to be fair, you know, that we're starting off like not through pregnancy and everything like that. I did not weigh myself, and I am pretty sure, yeah, that I was probably about 170 pounds. So she is like a year and a half, and I am now down to 122 pounds. I feel really, really good. And I did Trim Healthy Mama up until maybe like 6 months ago, something like that. And then I switched to doing keto and intermittent fasting. And the reason I have had so many people ask me why I switched from doing Trim Healthy Mama, like the flip-flop, you know, type of eating, to doing keto. And bottom line, honestly, I love Trim Healthy Mama, and I really don't see anything wrong with it. But the bottom line is that it was way, way more convenient to eat keto than it was to do Trim Healthy Mama. With Trim Healthy Mama, you eat every 3 hours. On keto, because you're eating extremely high amounts of fat, it helps to sustain you, and you actually like can go a longer amount of time without eating. I mean, you can eat 3 times a day. And then I ran into Dr. Berg, and I'm going to leave links to his videos below on keto and intermittent fasting, because I feel like he has the most like, and I know this is extremely, extremely controversial statement, but I'm going to say it because it's my opinion, and that doesn't mean that like I'm 100% right. And you can leave your opinion in the comments if you disagree with me, but like I think that his stuff is the most like scientifically based, or like gives good reasons. Because before all of this, I was very against doing intermittent fasting, doing keto, taking carbs out, all of that stuff. And then I listened to like hours and hours and hours of Dr. Berg talking, and he had a lot of information on why it works and all of that stuff. Now, to say that it's something that I will do for the rest of my life, probably not. That's just not, I don't know. It's just not real life. I mean, you have kids, you have birthday parties, you have all kinds of things. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and say this because I feel like it's important for me to say. I ate Oreos before I sat down to film this. So, like, just to give you a picture, like, I just really, when I first started doing keto, I was like really obsessive about numbers and weighing. Like, I would weigh my proteins, all of that stuff, which actually, what I want to say is that if you start a plan, stick to it. Like, give yourself a good like 3 months of being super adamant about like checking all the boxes, everything that you're gonna do, because that gives you a good foundation, and then from then on you can kind of like cultivate and like just do it as a lifestyle. And so, for example, with keto, it's not super high, I mean, it's medium protein, it's high fat, medium protein. And so you do want to be careful that you're not consuming too much protein. So I was weighing my protein, which actually ended up being really good in the end, because now I know how much protein I should be eating. I can look at a piece of chicken and kind of know. And so like measuring things out is not a bad thing. I mean, it would be really annoying for the rest of your life to be doing that, but it's not a bad thing. Just to give you kind of like a perspective of what you should and shouldn't be doing. So, you know, if you're doing, I'm just trying to think of another example. I know there's other diets that have like guidelines, things that you stick to. I mean, like I think this would be a good example. I'm not a huge fan of doing Weight Watchers, but I think you can lose weight on Weight Watchers, especially for a person that has a problem with portion control. But like just like that, you can learn what things are what points, and people get really used to the system, and then you can kind of integrate it into a lifestyle. So I think that's why sometimes people start something and they're like, how in the world would I make this into a lifestyle? And I think that's why just like give yourself a good solid 3 months, and you will know if it's something that you can stick to doing, start to like just go on your own, take the training wheels off, that kind of thing. So my first thing is to stick to whatever you decide to do. It does not have to be what I do. Although I will say that what I've done has worked very well. My pace of losing weight went up dramatically after starting keto, going off of Trim Healthy Mama. But Trim Healthy Mama is extremely good for when you're nursing and you're pregnant, because you do need those healthy carbs for those times of life. And even now, like, because I'm pretty much, I mean, I'm at my goal weight, that you know, if there's times that I want to integrate healthy carbs, I kind of have that knowledge, like I know because I've done it. And that's why it's not a bad idea to try out different diets. And I know there's going to be people out there that probably will argue with me on that one, but I think that it's good to know, to have good knowledge of a lot of different things. And especially whenever you want to use things for certain periods of your life. Like if you want to use keto to get yourself down to where your weight should be, and then just be eating healthy and just making smart choices after that, I don't think that's a bad thing. So I feel like that was really long, but you guys got the picture. And if you're interested in hearing what I have to say, I guess you'll keep watching. So my second tip is that you do not have to do fitness. And I know, like, there's so much to the health, weight loss, fitness world, and so everybody's got their opinions and their things, but I'm talking from my experience, from my story, from like the things I've done. So I have done working out. Like I said, after I had my second one, I did a lot of working out. It kind of depends on what you want to maintain, what you want out of weight loss. So I did not do much working out actually before that, to be honest. That was the first time that I really faithfully every day was working out. And now that I'm at the weight I'm at, I'm actually kind of like wanting to work out, just because I feel like that I have, you know, extra skin and things like that I would really like to tighten up. And so I think in the next few months I'll probably start going back to the gym. I had done it for a little while last year and just didn't stick to it. So that is something that I think I will probably start doing. But what I want to say is that you can easily lose weight for the most part, unless, like, I'm going to say this stuff with a disclaimer of there are people out there with thyroid problems, there are people out there that have genetic things, that have things that they need medical attention for. And so, like, if you are doing everything in your power, or, you know, or you, this is a whole nother subject, but, you know, there's things like parasites, there's things out there that will prevent you from losing weight. But I'm talking for maybe a general rule of thumb. So if you are trying a lot of things. You're being very faithful to sticking to eating a certain way. You know that you're not doing anything, that you're consuming things that would be making you gain weight, and you're still not losing. You definitely need to seek professional help. Okay, with that said, for the most part, you can lose a lot of weight without working out. And I know that a lot of trainers will even tell you that, because their first thing that they're probably going to tell you at a training session, if it's a really good trainer, is that it all starts in the kitchen. You cannot be eating McDonald's and going to the gym every day. First of all, you would never have the energy to do that, and not be like giving yourself the right nutrition. You're just killing yourself. You're just on a cycle, you know, that's not good. So nutrition is really the bottom line. So if you start off with that, you will definitely lose. And like I said, I have lost pretty much all of my weight without actually having done much exercise at all. The third thing I wanted to say was be flexible about your goal weight. Like I said, you know, after I had my second baby and I lost the weight that I thought I was going to, like, you know, where I was at and stuff like that, it wasn't really where I wanted to be. So I had to kind of readjust that. And I've also heard people that have made a goal weight for themselves, reached not quite that low of a weight, and were super happy with how their body looked. So like, I think it's good to have goals, but I also think it's good to just like listen to your body and realize that you might be happy in a very different place with your body than what you realized, and just learn to love the moment that you're in. Learn to love like every step that you're going through. And like, especially as moms, I feel like we have these like time frames in mind, and we have to realize that we are going through postpartum, we're breastfeeding, all of those things. And so I think it's important for us to just embrace every single step. Okay, so you already know that I eat keto for the most part. I also do intermittent fasting. Even currently, I'm not a huge breakfast person, not because I don't love breakfast food. In fact, a lot of times I eat breakfast food for lunch, but because I have 3 toddlers, and the idea of me getting breakfast made for myself is pretty much non-existent. I mean, it's usually like 11 o'clock until I make my breakfast. So that was the other thing that was super convenient about doing intermittent fasting, is like I just basically, you know, wouldn't make my first meal until the afternoon, and just making sure that, you know, you're having enough calories and all of that. But if you're eating a lot of coconut oil, and that's where I'm gonna kind of like go into, is giving you guys a couple products and tips, things that have helped me out a lot. And no, this is not sponsored by any of these companies or anything. If any of them want to sponsor me, I do work with the one company, but it's not sponsoring this video. But one thing that I like swear by is eating a good amount of coconut oil every single day. And I personally prefer it in my coffee. If you guys go back and watch, I had gone through and done a series of like what I eat every single day. I would take and film it all and put it into one video. And you guys, I know there was a lot of you that really liked it. It was just so much work, honestly, for me to do that. So if you guys go back and watch those videos, you will see that I do put a lot of coconut oil into my coffee. And it's just my way of doing it. And I have, in a pinch, whenever I really knew I needed coconut oil, eaten it right off the spoon and just drank something after it. It's pretty nasty, but whenever you have to do what you have to do, it's really good for your skin and your hair, digestion, helps you lose weight, just gives you a lot of energy. It really, really does. But I would suggest to start off a little bit, like a smaller amount, and work your way up. I probably, in my coffee, I probably put like a good tablespoon and a half. I really, really like it, and my attempt is to try to do that twice a day. That's something that I put in my coffee. Another thing that I put in my coffee is collagen, and I don't necessarily have a specific brand that I really stick to with that. I liked From Healthy Mama's brand. I've used theirs. Actually, I just ran out of my last bag of theirs that I had on hand. But that's something that I also like to try to put into my coffee. I try to drink like decaf at night and then regular in the morning, so of course I kind of make the same concoction or whatever. But I'm going to show you guys this. This is the one that I'm using right now. It's called Beauty Tonic. And they have bags also, and actually this is from Grove. If you guys are unfamiliar with my channel, I talk about Grove a lot. They are a natural company, and I'll leave a link in the description bar where you guys can actually get a whole bunch of cleaning products for free with your first order. If you guys want to go click on that link, it'll send you right to Grove. It'll put all that stuff in your cart, and then you can search tonic on there, and this will pop up. And the reason I'm showing it to you is because if you're a person that uses collagen, this is like ridiculously handy. So these are in little pouches just like this, so you can literally keep these in your car and put them in your Starbucks. They have no taste, absolutely no taste. Collagen in itself actually helps you digest things. It really just, whoa, it really does a lot of things. I'm not going to go into great detail because I feel like this video might end up being long, but I wanted to mention this because it's something that I wish I would have known about a long time ago, just because of the conveniency of it. So like I said, I'll leave a link below for this. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is do a video at some point on like all the supplements, all the things that I take. Another thing that I take is Superfood Plus by Dr. Scholl's, and I'm just literally going to show these to you because I know there were some people that were like, aren't they huge pills? I've mentioned it before, and they are. I mean, like, if you're not a pill taker, they are, but I don't mind taking pills. But this is literally what they look like. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Like that. And they are basically your greens. So if you're a person that hates salads, hates getting your greens in, which really, even those of us that like it, we don't get enough in. I can already tell you that right now. Like, we do not eat enough greens in America at all. Or the right kind of greens. Like, iceberg lettuce does not count. Sorry to break it to you if you thought that it did. But it has so much nutrients in it, and this is just a way that is so easy to get so much in. And I'm gonna tell you guys something kind of like gross, but it really helped me see how great these things are. One time, one of them landed in my sink, and then I don't think I realized it. And a few hours later, I came back and it had gotten wet, and it had literally, I think probably 3 times its size, and it was like a little blob of like shredded up green. Like, that is what is in these pills. So that was kind of, it was gross in my sink, but it was kind of comforting to me that this is really greens. Like, you're definitely getting them in, and you don't have to taste them. You can hold your breath and take it down. So I will leave an Amazon link below for these. That's where I got them. And so yeah, they're definitely something that I like to take every day. Okay, so this is the one company that I work with. If you guys watch my channel a lot, you already know this. But I work with Teamy, or Teamy. I like to say Teamy because it rhymes. But and they are a really, really awesome company. They are a tea company. I actually love drinking health teas to begin with, and so whenever they reached out to me, I was like, yeah, that would be totally cool to work with you guys. So what I have done, this is my second round, is the 30-day detox, and it basically comes, whoop, there's a hair. It basically comes with their skinny tea and their detox tea. I'm just gonna pull them out. Their detox tea is just their colon tea, and it actually comes in little tea bags, and then their skinny tea is their loose leaf tea. And the way that the system works is you drink the skinny tea every single morning, and it tastes really good. I love the taste of their teas. And then the detox tea you drink every other night, and so you do it for 30 days. And I am gonna be really honest with you guys, I love this product. I think the first round that I did it, which of course I was eating really healthy, and also whenever I started my first round, I cut out dairy, which was really big, because even on keto you're allowed to have dairy. But a friend challenged me to do it, and I have gone through spurts of cutting out dairy, and I generally feel better. I think it causes a lot of bloating, and I really think it slows down my weight loss. So I did that, and I pretty much had already been cutting out sugar and gluten. That was something that I had done for a long time, but the dairy was something a little bit new, so I cut that out. So I'm just including that in this. And then I did the detox for 30 days. And I think if I would look back on my dates, that it was about 10 pounds in those 30 days, which is like really good, really, really good. And then on top of that, I actually had a subscriber of mine get a hold of me after she had ordered through my link, because I will leave a link in the description box where you guys can get a percentage off of your first tea order. Actually, you know what, I think any of your tea orders. So even if you are a returning customer, you guys would still be able to get it. And she was like, so I have been stalled on my weight loss for a while, and I decided to go ahead and get the skinny tea. And it has broken my plateau, and I'm losing again. So I was like, yes, yes, yes. So it really does help. And I was surprised. I was skeptical at first, but I was surprised at how much it helped. But before I end my ramble about Teamy, I do have to tell you guys something kind of exciting. So I got a package the other day, and they just launched, I think yesterday, this new tumbler, and how stinking cute is it? I love the mint color, and I want to show you guys how the tumblers work. So with the skinny tea, it's a loose leaf tea, and you literally only use a teaspoon of this, and it like expands, kind of like the greens like I was just telling you about. And then there is a little like screen, and it keeps everything. You put the tea inside there with the boiling water, you stick this right inside, and then you can drink it, and you don't get all the nasty little pieces from the loose leaf tea. So anyways, and this actually has a little compartment. Oh, the sticker's stuck, I'm not gonna open it, but you can unscrew the bottom and put like your tea in there if you were out in town and you just got some hot water somewhere. And then it has a little wristlet too. So I really have been impressed with this company. And like I said, these are just like little add-ins. It's nothing that like you have to do. It's things I have done, things that have helped me, stuff that, you know, if you want to try one of those things, you know, it might help a lot. Just a couple things that I thought I would just throw out there and mention. And like I said, I think I'm going to do a whole video on everything that I do, because if you don't know what your adrenal glands are, they are something in your body that help you handle stress. And if they're overloaded, you have a very hard time losing weight. And so if you're taking supplements to help aid your adrenals and help to get them back to health, sometimes that in itself can actually help you lose weight with whatever you're currently doing. So that is why I'd like to do another supplements video. But the last thing I'm going to mention is to be taking a really good probiotic. And I am talking about this because I've taken a lot of probiotics, and this one is actually like in the mid-range as far as price, and it came in a cooler bag. Like I ordered it off of Amazon, and it came in a cooler bag, and it has 85 billion live cultures and 32 probiotic strands, and that is very high when you're talking about probiotics. There's a lot of them that have 50 billion live cultures, and even lower than that, like 30. So this is a very high count, and I was super impressed that it came like in a cooler bag, and they were concerned that it would keep its temperature. So that means that whatever is in here is real live stuff, and it's very healthy and good for you. I wish I would have known about it sooner, especially with the fact that the price is so good on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. And I just wanted to tell you guys about it because I wish I would have known. Okay, so I'm sure that this is probably already way long enough, and I could talk for probably 4 more hours, just because I already, like, there's so much more stuff that I know about weight loss and health and eating and all of that stuff. But I think I'm gonna see how you guys like this type of video, and if you would be interested in hearing more about my story and more about the things that have worked for me, things that I do, things that I take, how I eat, those sorts of things. So leave your questions in the comment box and we'll see. Maybe I'll be making some more videos like this, and I hope that something helped you guys out in all of this stuff. And if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.
Sailors passing on the street, are you ready?